We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Biden makes up stories on Howard Stern. The White House tried to get rid of Karin Jean-Pierre, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. During an interview with Howard Stern, President Biden spoke about an array of subjects, including a debate with former President Donald Trump ahead of the 2024 election, and the time he got arrested as a teenager at a Delaware desegregation protest. Some of the claims made by the president during the hour-long interview, however, faced scrutiny from the national media and certain individuals in the political realm who have become accustomed to Biden's habit of straying from the truth. Biden recounted that he got arrested standing on the porch with a black family. The New York Times, which took aim at President Biden on Thursday for actively and effectively avoiding journalists' questions during his first term in office, reported Friday that Biden appeared to once again stretch the truth about being arrested at a Delaware desegregation protest as a teenager. There is no evidence that he was ever arrested at a civil rights protest, the Times said. Biden also claimed that lovely women mailed him very salacious pictures when he was a young and unmarried senator, and that he handed the images over to the Secret Service. A lot of lovely women. But women would send very salacious pictures, and I'd just give them to the Secret Service. I thought somebody would think I was, the 81-year-old president said before trailing off. It's unclear why the Secret Service, whose role is to protect the president and investigate counterfeiting and fraud, would have any interest in amateur softcore porn sent to Biden while he was an unmarried senator from 1973 to 1977. Top aides to President Biden secretly hatched a plan this past fall to replace White House Press Secretary Karin Jean-Pierre by recruiting outside allies to nudge her out the door, according to an investigation by the New York Post. Jean-Pierre, who made history in May 2022 by becoming the first black and first openly gay person to hold the position, has developed the exasperating habit of reading canned answers directly from a binder to reporters at her regular briefings, offering what her superiors viewed as a less than compelling pitch for the 81-year-old Biden as he readied his re-election campaign. De facto White House communications chief Anita Dunn, the wife of Biden personal attorney Bob Bauer, told colleagues she had decided to call in prominent Democrats to explain to Jean-Pierre that the time was ripe to move on, sources told the New York Post. Investigations have shown that George Soros's firm is paying agitators who are fueling the explosion of radical pro-Hamas protests at colleges across the country. The protests, which skyrocketed after students took over Columbia University's Morningside Heights campus lawn last week, have mushroomed nationwide. Copycat tent cities have been set up at colleges across the country, all of them organized by branches of the Soros-funded Students for Justice in Palestine. And at some, students have clashed with police. As pro-Hamas protests spread across the campuses, many students are now awaiting the consequences of taking part in these demonstrations. For many, final exams, financial aid, and even graduation are on the line, and their plight has become a central part of the protests. Students and professors alike have demanded amnesty. At issue is whether universities and law enforcement will clear the charges and withhold other consequences, or whether the suspensions and legal records will follow students into their adult lives. Green Party 2024 presidential candidate Jill Stein was among 100 people arrested Saturday at pro-Hamas protests at Washington University in St. Louis, her campaign manager confirmed. Stein's campaign manager, Jason Cole, said that he, Stein, and deputy campaign manager Kelly Merrill Kayer were all arrested at the encampment on the campus. The Stein campaign supports the demands of the students and their peaceful protest and assembly on campus. Student protests for peace and civil liberties has always represented the best part of our collective moral conscience, the campaign's statement said. The campaign said nothing about the anti-Semitic chants coming from protesters. Stern herself allegedly made statements saying Jews should go back to Poland. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.